So, like where you were picking your feet up really quick, you didn't even get the jump, right? You were hit the gate, and as you were picking your feet up, you wheelied, right? So there's gonna be a little bit of change in how your bike comes off this dirt compared to what we've been doing with the grates. I think Bo was the only one out of all of you that his front tire actually came up, so a lot of you guys were either slipping the clutch too much or getting wheel spin. The thing getting too low too with dirt, you're taking away where grates before you had unlimited traction. Is it going to be too much weight on the front and cause wheel spin, right? Because if your front wheel's not at least coming up off the ground, something's wrong. Either your jump's too not aggressive enough or you're just sitting there spinning, right? So you got to be able to find that. People think, oh, put the whole shot device as low as possible. Isn't always the case, right? You got to understand what's going on underneath you, all right? So pay attention this time. Good traction. The second one, even though you have more weight on the front, you didn't get that drive. Your front wheel hit the gate, and then what happened? It made it pop up, right? You lose all that, you know, fork to absorb some of that, you know, and especially if you hit the gate. Where did you hit the gate? So is that good or bad? Good or bad? That last one, you got over it. Did you hit it? You got over it, right? And it was good. You didn't hit it. You got over it, right? It was this high. You got to be able to feel what's happening to your bike, right? That was good that you felt it. Good that you felt it. Did you hit it? Yeah. Yeah, you hit it, and then it popped up, right? So we had to find why weren't you more aggressive, right? Did you hit the gate? Yeah, right. And then you hit it, and it rebounded. You hit the gate? Right, so we got to find a way to get a little bit more drive, right? We want at least that front wheel coming up a little bit. That tells us we're getting good traction. If we can't find that, we probably don't need to be that deep on our whole shot device, right? Because we're not wheeling at all. We should get a little bit of traction, especially on dirt. It's not just about keeping that front wheel down. It's also about getting traction and drive. So there's got to be a happy medium in there, and you got to be able to feel that, right? And sometimes if it's too low, it will cause it to bog a little bit, you know? It wants to bog. So if you're here and you're still not getting a jump, find where you can get a jump. Are you jumping out as hard as you can? Why? What are you scared of? I'm smooth. That's not getting you the start, right? Let's do one without the whole shot device. Pop it off. I want to see everybody getting their front wheel up over this gate. Ethan, that was really close. Right? You got that front wheel light, so that's what we're looking for. You started to, but then you pull the clutch right back in. It only came up this high, Miguel. Don't be afraid of that front wheel coming up. All right, start them up. actually feel a little bit of traction. If you can't feel traction and drive, or you're afraid of the front wheel coming up, the whole shot device is actually making that harder, right? It's harder to happen, you know, so we've got to be able to find that aggression. What kept you from getting it that time? Front wheel didn't come up. Think it's going to bog? Okay, so, you know, you got to, if it's going to bog, we got to make some adjustments, because it's only going to want to bog more when we put that whole shot device on, right? So we got to play around with this and figure it out to maximize coming out, you know, really aggressive. Bo, did you hit it that time?
I didn't feel it.
Wait, and you didn't feel it because now you have more like of that plush part of the front forks, right? So it goes through it where you don't have that, but you still hit it. Quade, did you hit it? No, that one was good. All right, that was a little too much up and down. I didn't want the whole shot device. Same with you, Ethan, but that's what we're looking for. Get a little too much and then learn to control it. Owen, did you hit it? No, that was good, right? So that's what we're looking for. And did you feel like it wanted to wheelie a lot?
I feel like I always want to wheelie a lot.
But sometimes when you get that front wheel and it hits a little, with it being so sucked up, you actually take some of that leverage out, and then it wants to wheelie even a little bit more, right? So it's finding that balance between too much weight and not enough, and feeling the traction to not, right? So yes, with the grates, I think that front wheel being dropped really low is important, but then when you get into dirt, you got to understand what the dirt is like, right? Is it soft? Is it muddy? Is it hard packed? All of those things come into play, especially on these 125s, right? These 125s a lot of times don't have the most hit, right? So just like your time before, what happened when you try to jump out of that aggressive, what did your bike do? What? Bogged, right? That's a problem, right? We got to address that. We got to figure it out, because it's only going to get worse. You put the whole shot device on for what reason? And to be able to even be more aggressive, right? So if we can't have that aggression and we have to feed that clutch too much, are we at a losing battle? Yeah, right? And that's where still not getting that front wheel up, right? Oliver, you're on a fuel injected as well. Okay, do a start for us. I think on them you had to kind of play around real finicky with how much throttle you have. See that? That almost seems a little low, right? But if it's keeping it from falling on its face, right? As long as he's getting good jump and drive, that's way better than ew! Right? And like I said, these things are so finicky. I think that's a little low. Like you. Okay.
I go way too much, then it'll bog.
Then it wants to bog. Okay. If you feel like you can be the most consistent there and you're up front, then that's what you've got to do, right? There's no one way or the right or wrong way if it's working, right? Are you getting the starts when you're at the races?
Yeah.
Okay.